Pernilla.
Hi.
How about you?
Pernilla, do you want to introduce
Can't hear me.
yourself?
No, it's strange. I literally, what about you? Should we go for you, Reva, while I'm trying to figure out?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Reva from Reva Reveals. Good morning, everybody. Been on YouTube for coming up on a year now. November will make a year. And I'm a small content creator, coach, cheerleader, galvanizer of friends, creator friends. Happy to be here in YouTube over 40s community. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. It says I can hear you. I don't know who else is up this morning. East Coast. We're coming in on European time. I'm not sure. New Zealand. We're all kind of represented.
Canada,
And
Krista?
Canada. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I'm happy to be amongst my international friends.
Nice one. And what about you, Lucy?
Hi, everybody. So I've been on YouTube since late June, so I'm quite new to this. But in my day job, I work with organisations and individuals to help people work better together, help people thrive in their work life and their life. So that's what I'm focusing my channel on. So it's Lucy on Life, and I'm trying to, just help people be happy, basically.
Hey, Lucy.
Karen's muted again.
Oh.
So massive technical issues.
What about now?
Oh, no, not now.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
I can't hear you, Lucy.
This is extraordinary. Can the people listening online, can they hear me?
We're real little funny buggers today.
If you guys can hear us in the chat, can you leave something in the chat letting us know that you guys can hear us?
David, can you speak so I can see
Yeah,
if
no
I can
problem.
hear you?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can't hear
Yes.
David either. Can you, Reva, hear David?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Krista says she can hear everybody.
That's a real
So I
worry,
think it's
isn't it?
working for the people online, but we can't hear.
Golly gosh.
I can hear everybody, though. It's really strange.
Edit the mic settings.
You can try to just do another, not another meeting, just hook up to another device so you can hear also. So you don't have to kick everybody off and come back on.
Yeah, that's right. Do you mean like my
just
phone?
do it from your phone as well.
Yeah.
That's why I always have like 3 devices just in case something's not working.
Okay. All right, we're going to try and revert to the phone. I've just never had that before.
No, something really weird going on.
So I'm just turning my phone on anyway.
Yeah,
Did
maybe it
check
is.
the Cosmos?
It's full sun here in Birmingham. It's not. We're daytime here.
That's not Birmingham, Alabama, though, is it? That's Birmingham.
It isn't. It's Birmingham, UK.
It's just the weirdest thing. Edit the mic settings. All right, so I'm just waiting for that to come on.
And hopefully P will be back. Pernilla will be back soon. Hey, Paula, Joanne. Brick and Tours.
Brick Tours, hello.
Brick Tours.
Hey, Pernilla.
Oh, hi, Karen. I can hear you now.
Lucy, can we hear you?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
We can't hear Lucy now.
What?
I can hear Lucy.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's really strange.
It's so
really
strange.
strange.
Yeah, it never happened.
Never happened before.
Hard frost for the moment. Oh, Krista, it's hard frost. 2 degrees Celsius to 35. Oh my God, it's cold.
That does sound cold, Krista. I hope you're wrapped up warm. Thank you for being
here. Where are
you?
Oh, wow, Myanmar. I don't know how you say that, actually. I think I've been past there. M- Myanmar. That's somewhere. I went to Brunei. So the gentleman that's from, how do you say that? Probably David knows.
Myanmar.
Myanmar. Yeah, it's near Brunei. I spent some time in Brunei. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just trying to keep things going until Karen
Yeah,
gets herself situated. That's my job.
let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's just
It's all
keep
good.
chatting while we can.
Absolutely. So thank you for coming on yesterday, P, for the training. David, I know you guys couldn't maybe make it. We try to cross all the date timelines to make sure people are covered, whether it's going live on YouTube or going live in the school community. So thank you all for coming. Lucy, what have you been working on? I caught your last video. It was a short. Well, I don't know if it was your last, but I caught a short and it
Yeah,
was
so
very good. You were very good on screen.
oh, thank you so much. I've been yes, I made a video about how to answer the question, tell us about yourself, or tell me about yourself, you know, the one that they ask at the beginning of job interviews or sometimes at the beginning of Zoom calls. And so I explained about that, and I did a little clip of the long form, which got a lot of views actually, and led some views to the long form, which I thought was really
Oh,
interesting.
that's
So
good.
yeah,
So
so I was pleased
that
about that.
worked for you. Hey, Nicola. Oh my God. So Nicola, I do owe you and everyone else in the school community a video on how to do school. So I haven't forgotten about you, Nicola. Thank you for coming. Watching my cousin who is here from Sweden. Oh, so
That's me.
Pernilla, Nicola has people there visiting from Sweden. Can you say something in Sweden? In
In Swedish?
Swedish?
Swedish.
Yes.
Okej. Vi är ett underbart gäng.
Ooh. Jeez. What's
Do you
that?
get it now that it's very different to English?
I hear Björn Borg, is Björn Borg Swedish?
Yes.
Because he's
And what's the supermodel? The supermodel that I know of. What's her
Emma?
name? Do you know?
Emma,
Who?
maybe? Emma? No?
No. She's like in the 80s in my day. Like
Hmm.
80s, 90s supermodel.
Um,
And then she had a show, top model or runway something, and she was married to Seal. I thought she was Swedish.
Yes.
oh, really? No, I think she's German. I think
Heidi.
she's
Is it Heidi?
Heidi.
Heidi Klum?
Heidi or something.
Oh,
Heidi.
she's
Not
German.
Heidi.
Can I just hop in to say, Riva, it was so amazing yesterday. So you all should be joining this like amazing community that we have going on here. It was such, yeah, I couldn't sleep afterwards. I was so like, it was so amazing. So thank you so much for like pushing me and yeah, you know, just little nuggets here and there. And it just made me think. So thank you. It was
So
really,
Pernilla encouraged me to start the school community in the first place. So I do what the people want, because I'm somewhat of a people pleaser. And I think that's why I'm so tired this morning, is because teaching and training takes a lot out of us, and being a galvanizer of the people, but also so bringing the people together like Karen is doing. She brings us together. But then I bring in facilitators to teach the things that I also want to get better at, because we all don't know all the things. So I bring in other people to teach us content creation on various levels. Hey, girl. I can see you, Karen.
Okay.
Yes.
We're trying this.
Okay, good. Yes, I was saying that. So P, I have nicknames for everybody. So it's just easier and faster for me to say P. My girl P and my guy Peter, said, Riva, this was months ago, like 2 months ago, make the community, we're gonna come. And I was like, no, okay. because I know how much, we all put into it once we say we're going to do something. And I like to be super consistent. And that's also why I'm like going in this direction as a consistency coach and not just a YouTube coach, because half of my job is mindset. And I think one of my superpowers is being consistent. So I'm going to teach other people how to be consistent, because there's more to just how to grow on YouTube as being a coach. Doing these things like David does, like Peter comes in and teaches us, things about like community driven and pieces mindset. Like my thing is consistency. I think the reason why I built that community is because we all have something to give and all have something to learn. And learning is forever. If you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. I just say that you're unaliving yourself when you do not have a growth mindset, because if you're not growing, you're dwindling a little bit day by day. So with that, David is going to teach us how to do filmmaking, or the aspects of that in our content creation life. You're going to give us some tips and tricks, David, maybe?
As I said to Karen, I mean, I think somebody's asked a question about what I do. Well, basically, I have a filmmaking channel, but I'm only relatively new to filmmaking myself about 5 years ago. Because I started when I was 60, I'm 62 now. I wanted to pitch it towards people who are older, because I don't think it's ever too late to create. So that's kind of my goal. But I'm finding that the filmmaking content that I teach really it's applicable regardless of your age. Just obviously, I'm an older person, relatively speaking. Perhaps my style of presentation might be different to somebody who's very young. So I'm hoping that I will hit my niche audience by the style of delivery, but the content which I deliver really is about filmmaking. So I thought what might be worthwhile is to just show you a trailer for a film that I've had on the cinema screen. It's being entered for festivals. If I show you a little trailer for that, so you get an idea of where I'm at, and then I'll take you through the process of how I went about and did that. Would that be useful to you? Do you think?
Yes.
Right. So how do I present? Present.
It's at
All
the
right.
bottom, I think it's the plus sign.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
Is this it here?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes.
I looked into walking into the water and not coming back. I just didn't see any point in being here. I tried to take my life in the bandstand on the West Park in South Shields. People who don't really know me think I'm this happy-go-lucky guy, and really that's not me. And there's times inside I'm just breaking. That one bench that I thought was a silly idea and just a daft daydream has saved a life, and I can't put into words how proud I am of that fact.
Amazing, David. And I saw
Wow.
that was on the big screen.
Yeah, it's beyond Cineworld and it's on the local cinema. But the point of that really is, because of the stage I'm at in my life, I want to make films that have some sort of social impact, that help people. I'm not in it purely for the money. And I know that particular film has already literally saved a couple of lives, because people have watched the film and they've been influenced by it, and they haven't. So basically, it's about making impact through filmmaking. So the process of doing what I'm trying to teach really is just how you first of all find the subjects for the documentaries, and once you've found those subjects, the process of filming them and editing and all of those kinds of things. It's fairly early stages really, but the editing software that I use is DaVinci Resolve. I have a couple of relatively inexpensive mirrorless cameras. I've just been buying myself an iPhone Pro 15 because you can do remarkable things with that. And I'm hoping to do some videos about showing people how to use telephones to make effective films. But in terms of the YouTube content, as I mentioned to Carmen, she asked about me coming on here. I'm not an expert on YouTube videos. I can edit videos, but the actual methodology that I use to attract audiences, the creation of the hook and the retention devices and all these kinds of things, I'm probably less experienced in that than you are. So I just watch other YouTubers and I use ChatGPT to come up with scripts for my videos, and then I put my own personal spin on those. I never use teleprompters. I just look at the bullet points and then add my own excerpts from films that I produced to kind of try and illustrate those points. So I don't really know what questions people might have for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, one question that I had is, when did you get into the filmmaking? Because you've been, is it a maths teacher that you've been, a high school maths teacher? For most of your career? Like, when did you get into the filmmaking?
Well, I left the teaching at 58, and I wanted to do a master's in MA in film and TV, simply because I'd always wanted to do something creative. At the creative writing courses, I used to do photography, but my job was quite a demanding job in secondary education. So when I took early retirement, I wanted to do something creative. So I started a master's degree in TV and film at Sunderland University, but then COVID hit, and I couldn't go. It was pointless spending money to do an online course, so I just decided to teach myself. So I watched loads of YouTube videos. I tried lots of different editing software, and I find that the best way to learn really is to do it, because I don't know whether it's an age thing, but you can become quite expert at one particular area, such as Avid is a software program for editing. You can become quite expert at Avid, but then if you move on to something else, the filming aspect, for example, you forget some of the features of Avid. And doing the courses, I remember there was one occasion I'd done a really detailed course about documentary editing, and I made copious notes about it. Then about a month later, I thought I'd watch more courses, and I realized I'd actually seen the course I was making notes about. So I'd actually had notes about this course, but I forgot I'd watched the course. And so I thought, this is just not sinking in. The only way to do it is to do it. So I started reaching out and getting some paying clients, started doing some freelance editing. But the most satisfying part for me is finding organizations to do films about. Sometimes I get paid for that. As often as not, at the moment, I don't get paid for it. I mean, I've just done another one. I could show you the trailer if you want. It's about a guy who dresses in pink. He puts big pink dresses on. He's about 6'5" athlete with a big beard. He puts dresses on and runs for charity for cancer research, because he lost his dad to cancer, he lost his mother to cancer, he's lost friends to cancer, and he does the Great North Run, and he's done runs around the world actually, where he puts the big pink dress on to bring attention to himself and to raise money. So I followed him on one of his races, and that film is about how he got through grief and the loss of his dad, because he loved his dad very much, and he used to wait for him at the same place as he was running around. He used to wait from the same place, but his dad had died, and he was dreading going around to that same place because he knew his dad wasn't going to be there. So that film is really about overcoming grief and using grief in a positive way. So I could show you the trailer of that if you want to get the idea.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know whether I've got a trailer. You'll see some of it. I'll show. This is the bit where, can you see the screen?
Hey, Joanna. Joanna's saying she would love to see the trailer. Can I see you? Let's have a look.
Well, what I'll do is I can't find the trailer. I'll show you the first bit of it. No, so I'll show you a little bit of the film, then you get the idea.
Yeah.
So,
It's already funny. Oh my God.
a bit weird coming back. It's like the first time I ever did it. Petrified of walking out the front door.
My father was always there to see me halfway around the race. He lived not far away from the halfway point, and he would wait for us there with the dog, Woody. I know for a fact this year it's gonna come, knowing that he's not there. My wife's friend was diagnosed with breast cancer, and unfortunately, you know, I'd never seen anybody with cancer before, and it was horrible to watch. And I decided to do the Great North Run, try and raise a few pounds. I think we set out to raise £350. But at that time, I was working in a nursing home, and we do shows every Christmas for the nursing home people and all that. It was awesome fun. But I work with all women. So all the names that went in the hat were women's, and it was I got Diana Ross and the Supremes, and when the pack came for the charity, it was wear a pink, and the only pink outfit I had was this pink Diana Ross dress. So I said, right, I'll do the Great North Run in this dress, and we ended up raising thousands on that first run. I feel a slight guilt.
Yeah, I've taken that off now.
Wow.
So you get the idea. That's just the first part. So would you like us to take you through the process of how I actually put the films together, the different elements?
Yeah.
Can I just say, David, it's so amazing what you are doing and your passion for like bringing this up and helping people. I think it's truly remarkable what you are doing. So, and also you're an ex-teacher. So, I mean, you have a package here that's so wow for YouTube. I think, yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely.
I mean, really, I don't know. The trouble is with my films, because I'm work all by myself, my partner helps me, I don't get any funding, and I would like to get the position at some point where I get more credibility as a filmmaker. And this is the first film is going into a festival, we're getting it shown in the local cinemas and things like that. I'm hoping that if I get a little bit more credibility, I'll have some funding so I can work with other people, or just because people are only going to trust you to do a film about them if you have a degree of credibility. And part of making the film is to build up a trust, to build up a rapport, because both of those, I mean, obviously the first film is about a man who tried to kill himself, and he never ever, I used to present MMA fights. You might saw it in the film. He goes to MMA fights, he does pop quizzes, but it was for him to reveal. And it was the first time many of the people who knew realized he tried to kill himself. And so you have to build that rapport and that trust, and that's you meet the people and you have a chat with them, you gain that trust. And so by the time you come to interview them, they know that your intentions for that film are honorable and that you're going to represent them in an honorable way. And that's difficult. I think that's one of the things that perhaps I'm not saying being older will make any difference, but it might, with certain people, they might think I'm more trustworthy because I'm not one of these young flash guys. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with young people. Listen, fantastic, I've worked with young people all my lives, but I'm hoping that that's kind of how I might hit my niche. And I'm hoping that by telling people how to make films, there'll be people out there who want to make films about things that they are passionate about. So it might be cancer research, it might be saving an old building, it might be, and I've done one about swallowtail butterflies because I like butterflies, and there's a swallowtail butterfly in UK. It only exists in one habitat. So I went on Facebook, found out who the people were in that region who knew about butterflies, and I went down and interviewed them about the declining butterflies. So they're all things that I'm interested in, and I hope that by teaching people how to make films themselves, they can start creating their passion projects. It may be a cause that they're interested in, it may be a hobby, it may be a family legacy kind of thing. So that's really what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to build up a reputation as a filmmaker, partly through the YouTube channel.
So how many films have you made so far?
Not that many. Probably about 20. 20, 25, but most of them are
That's a
small.
lot. That's a lot.
They're not all big. There might be that quite. Sometimes you just give them to the client, maybe for a website, with a little bit of drone footage and that kind of thing. I've done some of those, but my own film's probably about 6 or 7, which are purely for me. And there's only one of them being shown on the cinema. That dad one you were watching there, that's going to be shown on a cinema screen as well, as a part of charity event kind of scenario in a few weeks' time. So I haven't made loads of films. It takes quite a long time to make a film, because you might, on the case of the Big Red Bench one, we filmed him over a period of about 6 months, trying to find out so I did the initial interview, which took about an hour and a half. And from that interview, I went through all of the footage and I put together a story. And most of it ends up in the bin because it's just too much detail. Sometimes the footage in the interview might be compelling to you and to the person who's telling you, but it doesn't serve the story. And I was fortunate enough to know an edit producer who works for the TV who screened the film, my initial cut, and looked at the story and says, yes, it's an interesting story, but there's one section. Don't include that section because it's not relevant to the story. So it all went. So that was about 3 or 4 minutes. I know 3 or 4 minutes doesn't seem a lot, but it's a lot of editing. That just went, and a few other bits went to streamline the story so that there's a narrative arc. So once you get the narrative arc in place, you then have to start looking for B-roll and illustrate the point. So at that point, after the first interview had been produced, we then have to say, right, what's the story about? And the story was basically about a man who outwardly was very confident, but in actual fact would try and kill himself. So we had to look for opportunities to illustrate that other side of him, being at the MMA fight, being at the pub quiz, laughing and joking, carrying on. We had to show that, to then contrast that with his more pensive moment in the interview, where he was very, very sad and almost in tears. And then we had some footage where he's walking around the beach. I think we saw where he was looking at the moon, standing at the end of the pier looking at the moon. That was around the section on depression, how he spent all the time being depressed and went through all of what depression was and that kind of thing, wasn't just feeling sad. So it's trying to film things that are appropriate to the dialogue to illustrate it rather than just having loads of him talking. So that's basically, once you've done that, you then think about what little sound effects you might add a bit of impact at certain points, and then you start thinking about the music. Now, the music at the end of the film was actually written by a guy called Liam Fender, who's actually Sam Fender's brother. He's an artist in his own right, but he let us use his music at the very end of the film. So that's it. So it was really good fun to do, but it took months because I had to think of these opportunities to film, and I had to come back and edit the bits which I thought were appropriate, and then you run it through. And is the pacing right? Is there enough drama in there? Is the ending appropriate? And all of that storytelling aspect is it's challenging and it's enjoyable, but I'm very much still on the learning curve for that. I always will be. And anybody who says they're not learning, well, they're wrong, aren't they? Because everyone can continue to learn. But one of my
What you described sounds like a good YouTube video.
Yeah, many videos, because I believe the whole thing of storytelling by itself, that's a whole series, right, David? Like if you talk about how to build from the beginning to the arc to the climax to what's after the climax. I mean, the whole storytelling arc, like that's a video that you can teach us about. And then how do you apply that, the application, to maybe 3 different niches? Like for me and my niche, which is, and Karen, is a very different niche from Lucy and P. It's 2 different niches, which deserves different storytelling applications. because my niche is very fast, all over the place. Like, yes, there's a point and there's the arc, and then there's a way to make it full. And my way to make my story full and different is different from Karen's. So then how from storytelling to storyboarding from a filmmaking content creator, do people even know how to storyboard? I don't do a lot of storyboarding. Maybe like if you taught storyboarding, and then all the different ways you can storyboard nowadays on like just a whiteboard, and then you put the blocks of the story onto the storytelling arc.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you can teach us a lot is what I'm saying. And maybe you can, teach and co-teach and let it be a Q&A. I don't know how many people in the chat knows about storyboarding. I watch some Disney, Pixar, and I hate to mention Disney right now because I'm a little mad at them, but from a free speech perspective. But yeah, so storyboarding and visually telling your story on a filmmaking perspective from a content creator, small bits, YouTube, small bits, small videos. How does that work compared to documentaries like what you did? Because you showed us the trailer, but then you still need to, from the big documentary, bring down the trailer, but you still need to storyboard the trailer to get your point across, right? So like, how do you do all the things? So I think that's entire training and teaching for us as you continue to be part of the facilitators.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, there are different skill sets in some respects. So because I watched, it's Darren Strauss, I think she's called, another storytelling school. She's from a TV background, and she does some good stuff. I think Darren Strauss, I'm sure she's one of within your realm, but she does whole things about storytelling. That is her niche, the storytelling school. But in terms of my storyboarding, I mean, when with my experience of documentary, quite often I just use post-its. I get the, because you don't know until you've had the interview what the story is quite often. So then I use post-it notes and I just arrange them on my table.
Oh, really?
Just post-it. There's something about the tactile nature of a post-it note. If you want to move it, you just move it. You can physically see it moving. And it's very simple. I know a lot of people use those, TV film directors use post-its.
Do you have a visual diagram of what your post-it? So you see this area back here? I can imagine, because I use post-it notes at work when we're doing projects. Well, a portion of my work when we're doing projects, I'd use post-it notes in order to get to an end state, an END state, like beginning state. Then you put all your ideas up, and then we use color-coded, because I'm OCD, color-coded post-it notes. So whether it's, say, for example, it's your, let me give you, or maybe you can give an example. Like I would use different colors if this is a B-roll, and I'm going to take the B-roll and put it there by my yellow post-it note, like blue, yellow for ideas, music, sound. And then by the end, you can take a picture of all the post-it notes. And these are action items that you need to put together. Like you mentioned, at the end, I might do sound. Like, walk us through how you do a video, just a regular 5-minute video, how you would do that on a post-it. Like, do you do that for your short form videos? Do you use post-its, maybe?
Well, sometimes I do, yeah, because what I do is I usually, when I've got the string out, the dialogue string out, the rough cut, I'll do a transcript, and I'll number each section in the transcript. And on DaVinci Resolve, it'll do a transcript for you. So I put that out as a Word or a Google Doc, and I number each section. And then I write a very, very brief summary of what that section is about. So, for example, from what you watched there, depression section, it talks about depression. A little bit of the interview where he's talking about depression. I just write that on a little bit of a notebook. But the order that you put it in the final film is not the order that they say it in, because you've got to think of the order that most suits the story. So I literally write, I might have, 30 sections of script of text, and I just write a little post-it note with what's on that. So talks about being in the pub quiz, so that goes at a certain place because I might be trying to set the sort of character that he is. So I'll move the post-it to a different position. So I literally, the post-it note corresponds to what's on the transcript.
And does that correlate to what's on the film, or just the narrative transcript, or both?
Well, it's the film. It's basically
Okay. I just want to make sure, because
yeah. I mean, I don't want to appear more sophisticated in my methods than I might be, because, as I say, I'm relatively new here. I'm not Spielberg. I'm not one of these great directors or filmmakers. But in my experience, that's how I would do it. I would use the transcript, number the sections, and then I would arrange those sections accordingly. And then I would have to do exactly the same thing on the timeline. I'd have to move them around on the timeline to get them in the right order.
wow, I think you should do a video showing us how you do your tactile method, because it will give us ideas on how to improve our workflow, or how to bring something new to our own workflow. Because Karen, maybe what's your workflow from conception to actualization? Can you just describe your workflow, like just a quick overview of from inception to conception?
Yeah, I guess I write like notes and stuff like that. I'll like literally write notes like on a pad of paper, and then I get to the point where like I film the video, and then I literally just put it into the editing, and then I edit it. And when I'm editing, I'll be making a decision probably before I start editing if it's going to mainly be a bit of a talking head one, or whether I'm going to have much in the way of B-roll or some sound effects or some words and stuff on the screen. So yeah, and then I just sort of like roll with that, and then I'll just post and upload. Like, I'm really bad. I'm really missing systems. I literally will just chat GPT sometimes, like, what is the system? Like, honestly, I just do not have a system. It's a problem.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine, because that's why me and you are sisters, because I have systems. But I say that loosely, like David, like nobody, I don't know who's perfect at any of this. And we don't strive for perfectionism. We strive for excellence. And that's getting better each and every time, and then going back. So I know when I got serious, in November, I would go, well, like September, when I did a video, I would go back, and I would always say, how can I make this better? Whether it's on screen or behind screen. And then I'm not only looking at my material, but I'm very careful that when I'm looking at other people's material and I'm saying, how can I get better? I'm not comparing to the point of negativity. I'm comparing and contrasting, how can I get better? Just from a non-biased standpoint. Like, you just have to let go of the emotions and say, what can I have done better? Now, for me, even now is how can I get better with time management and material output? Like, can more of myself shine through? Can my system be better? Can I connect with someone else, whether I know them actually, or whether I know, like now I know David, what can I take from David? Can I hit him up and say, how did you do this? Or can I just take it away on a different, one of their videos? So who I watched for storytelling, I would say mostly, because sometimes his videos are too long, is Calloway. He's in my niche, but he talks about storytelling with an arc. Also, Matt Gray a little bit, but from YouTube, like Calloway, like storytelling. and the arc and all that. But then I get lost, I get bored because I'm like
Yeah.
like a little ADHD, like, okay, just get to the point. So for me, I think how I grew was just give me the information quickly so that I can, and that was the gap for me. I think people found me because I just get to the point. Even though right now I like to talk a lot, but on my videos, I'm like, just get me to the point fast because all these other people are talking. So I think for in our areas, like for David, I identified like, David, no, you have value to give because for filmmaking, I don't have time to watch all these people that I don't understand their language. I'm older. I don't understand. I need someone to break it down tactile. Like, boom, just give me the points, show me how to do it visually, and then help me to execute it. So I said all that to say, everybody has a system. If you stop and look at your system, like a lot of times we put out videos, but then we don't go back. Maybe we do go back, but not enough, not all the time. Or maybe we ain't consistent with that. And maybe you, Karen, as building the system, like David says, he's got his 1, 2, 3. And I do that, David. Like for me, I don't do 1, 2, 3. In the beginning, I would do, this is my narrative part where I'm actually on screen in front of the camera. And that worked really well. And guess what? I stopped doing that. And now I'll go back and do it. Like, oh, in this part of my video, I want to show my face. So in my script, I'll put A-roll. So it makes my editing better. It makes my on-screen presence better. It allows me to just remember those bits better. If I know I'm going to be on screen, I like to be extemporaneous. I like to know teleprompter.
What can I just say something there, please?
I'm sorry?
Can I just chip in there,
Yeah.
please? My process for my YouTube videos, and I've only done 6, I've only been doing this for about 6 weeks, is totally different from what I've just described. Because when I'm doing a video for YouTube, I just go on ChatGPT. I put some ideas into ChatGPT. They come up with a script. I then alter that script, and then I just film that script. That's totally different from the process that you go. And then I look for B-roll or supportive things to do. It's nothing like that when I do a documentary, because when you do a documentary, you don't know exactly what's going to be said, and you don't know what opportunities are present themselves. And if you do a drama film, it's different again, because you can storyboard all of the scenes and you know exactly what you're going to shoot, because you shoot to the script. And yes, the editing process, you might do the pacing and all that in the editing process, but ultimately you've got a script to work with. So that process that I went through 5 minutes
totally
ago is totally different to my YouTube process. So I wouldn't use post-it to anything for that.
No.
So
what
But could you?
I don't see the necessity.
For me,
if I was doing a more cinematic type of video, I could do that. Yes, I could. But so far, my videos that I've done on YouTube have been fairly nuts and bolts. They haven't been that cinematic. I put a lot more effort into my documentaries because than I do to my YouTube videos at the moment. Anyway.
Do you have a question, Pete?
Oh, so Penilla and Lucy, it'll be interesting to know what your workflow is on your videos when you make videos.
Well, I watch a lot of Callaway, or I can't pronounce that, Callaway as well. Yeah, I think he's very, very good. So I normally follow like a system from him, and I put that system in ChatGPT, and I just, first I have an idea. So I talk with my phone so it writes, because I'm so slow. So I talk my idea, and then I make the hook of that, like of the idea. So it's really the hook is compelling and resonates and have these emotions that I want to create, and then I just I make a whole script, because I always make script because I don't remember. I can't go like you, Karen, like, yeah, I go with the flow. I can't do it. I try, but it's impossible. So then I look at the whole script, and then I do like some rehooks here and there just to make it, well, the retention that everyone wants, really, like you said, Riva. I try to do that as well. Sometimes I manage to do it and sometimes I don't. And yeah, I mean, I think that's my process. So I script the whole thing and then I read it over and over again and then I press record.
Yes, because
Do
you
you
and me
have
are
the
similar
script?
that we don't catch.
Sorry.
Do you have the script somewhere, like in your lap or on a desk or?
Yeah, I
in
have,
something?
like, nowadays because it's so comfortable, I just I record actually with my iMac because I have everything set up and I can just press record. And then I have my laptop like very close and then I read from there because I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me either. Sometimes I absolutely read, not like verbatim, but I'll have it close by. But then sometimes I'm just completely off of my dome, like.
Yeah, I would
Which is
love
amazing.
to reach that level just to be a little bit more, but I can't yet. Maybe someday in the future. But of course, it's not going to be exactly like the script, but it's very similar. And I have like all the bullet points that I want to say. So yeah, no freestyle for me yet.
What about you, Lucy?
Similar to others in terms of planning out scripts, I've also been trying to do freestyles. I've done a couple of freestyles, but then they get a bit wandering and, so they go off piste and stuff. So I've been trying with different ones where I follow a script or rather follow bullet points, and then that's more planned and there's more of the storytelling and the hooks and all of the techniques. But then I also do sometimes come up with an idea of something I want to talk about, and I think, well, I'll just record that and put it out there and see what happens, to give a bit of variety, I suppose, to the channel. But I think the thing that I found really helpful is to start planning sessions of recording. So I've started doing batch recording, so doing a couple of videos or 3. I managed 3 the other day because then I've got all the setup, everything I'm in the zone, I'm in the headspace for filming, and then I can move on to the next stage, which is the editing and so on. So that's been my big recent breakthrough. And when I say, big recent, like in the last week or something. So it's, but it is also, I think as a new YouTuber, you are thinking of all of these different things, how to, you're trying to define your niche, you're trying to plan for your audience, you're trying to work out what works, you're trying to grapple with editing software and filming. And my problem is getting light. So I've got a window just there. So I always have light on my glasses. So I'm always trying to I've got the curtains shut and it's a beautiful sunny day here in England, which is unusual. So I should have the curtain open, but you wouldn't be able to see. So it's kind of playing with all of that, isn't it? And, the hooks and it's a lot.
And
It's
also another reason for it's not only my memory, but I feel like I want to provide as much value as possible in these 6 minutes that I have, right? So I don't want to waste their time, because if I can't remember, then I'm going to waste the time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And just looking at the comments here, so Simone Whip Artist, she asked about the cinematic piece, David, because you talk about helping people make a bit more, cinematic films or things. So are there any tips for YouTubers, how can people, first of all, what defines a cinematic video or film? Because we know that when we see them, don't we, on YouTube, but what actually is a definition of a cinematic film or a video?
I don't really know that. That's the sort of, people talk about the lighting. I mean, lighting is a big thing, but it's also
Yeah.
the pacing, the music that you use as well. There's lots of aspects of being cinematic. It used to be 24 frames per second at 23.976 frames per second. It used to be about the speed that it was taken at. There's a lot of people use shallow depth of field to give what's called a cinematic shot. You know, the blurred backgrounds.
Yeah.
So you set to sort of bring attention to a particular subject. So you'll use an F like an F2 or something like that, depth of field, so that the person who's the subject of the particular point is in focus and everything else is blurred behind. So there are lots of aspects of what could be considered cinematic, I suppose. And there's as many videos telling you what cinematic are as versions. But certainly the type of camera that you use can make a big difference, and the grading, the color grading can make a big difference, and the lighting. I think they are possibly three of the more important ones. But also have good sequences, well thought out sequences, preferably some camera movement. And at the moment, I haven't got all the gear that I would want to have, but I'm thinking, well, perhaps I shouldn't get all the gear. I could buy extra gimbals and runners, but then you think, well, what actual difference does it make to the story? So
Yeah.
probably other people more qualified as to what cinematic is than I am, to be honest, but something that has an emotional impact, I would say, as well, is very important.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just scrolling.
Have you tried, Karen, have you tried cinematic type videos?
No, I haven't. No.
If you press the cinematic button on your iPhone, if you've got a one, all it does is it changes the depth of field, give you a blurry background. Yeah. So that's iPhone's version of cinematic, is a blurry background. But there's more to it than that, obviously.
David's being sarcastic.
Do you know what, too?
Yeah, just push the button and make it cinematic, and then you have a cinematic,
that's a cinematic
video.
I definitely do that. But you know what? As much as and I'd be interested in everyone else's view as well. Like, I do enjoy watching the occasional cinematic film. It seems to be the ones that seem to come up on my feed are sort of these, like, I don't know, are they young women, like they're 20-something women or something, but, you know, they're into their filmmaking and stuff, and lots of color grading and things. I mean, yeah, I watch them sometimes, but they're definitely a work of art, and they're something that takes them a long time, and there's loads, obviously, of intentionality, as you were saying, David, about making decisions about where you're going to film. So it's quite, filmmakery, isn't it? These cinematic types of YouTube videos.
The lighting's so important, filming at the right time of the day. I mean, just a little example from my little film there, when I had the guy at the pier, I made sure I did it when the sun was going down, because don't call it the golden hour for no reason. It is the best time. The light is softer, the angles are better, you get nicer shadows. And there's a moon on there, which wasn't actually quite as big in real life. It was a full moon, but I just kind of made it a little bit bigger in post.
Yeah.
But if I'd taken that in the middle of the day, the shot wouldn't have been as good. And many people like Roger Deacon, cinematographer, they have massive, huge rigs to create an artificial sunlight, and they spend a fortune on lighting to make it look the way it does. And they have stage designers who look at color science, they have contrasting color, blah blah blah. You're never going to get that, but you can do it quite a lot with a decent camera and some color grading software and some thought.
Do you need this software? I mean, I know you probably say you can probably have it without, like LUTs, like color grading software, the LUTs packs and all that.
Well, I think sometimes the LUTs are just stuck on willy-nilly. There's no real meaning the way they're stuck on. They don't. I don't use LUTs personally. I don't. I film in RAW, in flat profile, which means that there's more stops of light, and you can do more with the film if you film like that, if you use a flat profile. And the iPhones do ProRes, and they do flat profiles and log profiles. That gives you more scope in post. But color science and DaVinci Resolve are very complex. It's quite a big learning curve. So it's really how far do you want to go. I mean, people's whole careers are as colorists. They get hired just to get the colors to look correct.
Right. Yeah, what you just spoke about filming in flat, I think I spent 2 hours one day on that alone. It was like thinking, I'm not going to film in flat and go back and color grade, even though that's what you should do, just
You,
for a 7-minute video on how to do YouTube. But
well,
if
you,
you are like Life of Riza, is a channel, amazing cinematic young filmmaker, Life of Riza, Riza, amazing content. Also, another guy who I watch, he does a bit of cinematography, but in teaching mode from a personal development standpoint, is HINDZ, Hines, which is, hindsight. Music, I think if you have, if from inception to conception, like I was talking to Karen about, because I think about these things when I want to make a video. I didn't go over my workflow if anybody cares. I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but I think about these things when I make any video. I think about what I want the outcome to look like before I start the film. Even though it's an instructional video, I think about the format. What I mean by format is what I want it to look like and then feel like. I'm a very intuitive person. So I'm very like sensual, what it looks like, how you're going to feel after. Am I going to make you laugh? And then I go into how am I going to feel trying to interpret that piece of content. So that's my thought. That's not my system. My thoughts dictate the system that I will use. So yeah.
I don't use a flat profile for my YouTube videos. I just use a natural profile, and if the light's okay and the color balance is correct, it's going to do the job. I think it's
Right.
possibly unnecessary, but again, it depends. I mean, there's people, the likes of Peter McKinnon, and people, I don't know if you've heard of Peter McKinnon.
Yes.
He's got a beautiful studio set, a beautiful lighting.
Yep.
He spends a lot of time getting the look right. And I suppose I've got to start improving my YouTube videos in that sense, because people might look at them and say, well, that looks crap. What can I possibly learn from him?
You have a different eye. I mean, not a different, yes, you do have a different eye. Everybody, when you become a creator though, David, and everyone else, being a content consumer and a content creator, when you start creating, you start seeing from a different lens, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you get that critical eye, like David is saying, you're like, oh, well, I need to do this, or I should, or this looks great. Let me try this. And then sometimes that can become a hindrance. But for the most part, we try to make it a balance and do good work without letting the work hold us up from progress. Right?
Yeah. And it would be good to, I'm just thinking like Simone here saying, I think the main thing I want to do in making a video is to convey a particular message. If the message resonates, I've achieved its purpose. And Krista's saying she can relate to them being two different types of filming. And we've got Maureen from Memories and Must-Haves. Good morning from New Orleans. Is that you, Maureen? I'm just really trying to squint at my phone here. And Nicola, hello Nicola. This is a very interesting live. Sorry, I won't be responding much. I've got family over. Brick Tours, NI, what is your name? Nicola, there's 4 of us listening in. So Reva, what is your system? Tell us about your system, because you batch record as well, and Penilla and I often talk about how, and now Lucy's doing that, and Penilla and I are both on the same kind of like, we're just thinking about the one thing, we're kind of in the one thing, so we haven't made that leap. But I see that Alexa, of course, she's like, I full on was listening to her video the other day, talking about just get that batch recording done. So I was really inspired by that, and by you saying that as well, Reva, because I want to get into that. So tell us about your system. Because you are a systems girl.
So yeah, in the beginning, so my system, I go off of like a schedule. So I'll have, so right now, this week is the last week, coming up on the last week of the month. So I'm already thinking about October content on all the platforms, whether it be on YouTube or school. I'm already thinking a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks ahead of the month. So I always start with ideation because my brain is always going. I'm always doing research, but I'm doing research in a perspective of what resonates with me first. A lot of people will say, oh, what does your audience want to see? Well, that's great. You need to know what your audience wants to see, but you also need to do it with the filter of what am I able to deliver? Because if you just generally say, what does my audience want? Doesn't mean that you're the person for that piece of content. So my audience might be wanting something that I can't deliver. And I'm all about authenticity. So that weeds out a lot of content right there. So because I'm like, that's good that they want that, but I don't know that, or I can't do that right now. Right. So then I say, what can I do? What resonates with me that they want? So once I get that all flushed out, because I can't go into the new month thinking about that, because then I'm already behind. And then I feel rushed. And that's a whole issue. But that's how I started. I started all messy. I started all jacked up back in the day when I didn't have a system. I just did it all willy-nilly. So now that I already have all my content pretty much done for September, filmed, I have one more video to film for September because I did all the videos, and now I'm like editing one more that I'll put up today or tomorrow once I finish. I got like 5 more. Probably 5 minutes of editing takes me, depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Take a while. But I know for this video that's coming, I only have about 2 hours maybe of editing, and I'll put it up today or tomorrow. But I shot that at the beginning of September. So my October content, which I generally know what that's going to be about, and I'll tell you guys, it is 3 months into the end of the quarter of the year. So I'm thinking about, we got less than like 120 days for greatness. Like, what does that look like for content creation? So I'm already thinking about those ideas. All I have to do is put them in my Revealer AI if I want to do that. I usually have the topics and then put them into my AI chat, my custom chat. And it will help me refine my ideas for YouTube, because I'm only using it for YouTube right now. So ChatGPT helps me with ideas or topics I already have in mind. So here's a little nugget, Jim, for you all watching. So I always have my phone, always, unfortunately, always, however you want to, this is an asset. It's either a liability or an asset. You determine what your phone is going to be. I use my phone from everything from inspiration to delegation. Like, what part am I not going to do? I know I need to do it, but somebody else needs to do it in whatever realm of my life, whether my son needs to do it, my daughter, Karen, I need to do this. Inspiration to delegation. So I always have my phone with me. So I always have a working document. You see, this is September content. I'm done with September. Like, these are all of my scripts. I drop everything into there, my working docs. I usually have 2 of them going sometimes, like the actual scripts, the outline or whatever, because I'll go from outline, I go from ideation to refinement of the topics. And I make sure I know how many topics I'm going to cover, meaning how many videos do I need to do in October? How many times am I filming? So I have 2 videos that go up every week, whether it's a Sunday and Thursday or it's a Monday and Friday. I like to space them out to give them time to breathe. And also so that if I want to put something else in there, so you got to have your deliverables and non-deliverables, non-negotiables. So my non-negotiables, I'm going to do 2 videos per week. Period. I used to do 1 video a week. So I know I have 8 videos for the month of October. So that just weeds out everything else that I don't need to think about when it comes to content creation. So if it's 8 things I need to think about, well, I know what those topics are. So from there, I drop it in my chat. because I know the topics, and then I start refining them based off of SEO. Like, I know if there's the demand there because I've already done my research. September, I'm already thinking about October demand, supply and demand. We talked about this. I brought this up on Trey's live, Trey's training the other day. Like, why would you make a video if you know there's no demand for it? Unless you're just super being creative and you don't care about people watching your content.
Yeah.
You just get it out. So because I know the demand is there, it helps me to weed out. That's our job, like, because we're super creatives. Our job is to weed out the things that we don't need to think about. Like, I have on a pink shirt today. It was there. But when I go to film, I'm putting on a black shirt. Like, I'm putting on the 3 shirts. I don't want to make another decision because I've optimized my decision making. 8 videos, black shirt, film at least 2 videos when I sit down to make one. That's my system.
Yeah.
So I have to have 2 topics ready to go with an outline at least, right? Because if I'm feeling very creative and I know I can extemporaneously go off of the outline, meaning like I don't have to have the outline scripted out. Okay, I can do that. However, I need a script as a backup just in case my creative juices aren't flowing. And if I know I need a script and I might need to film too, then I'm going to do like P says, I'm going to kind of study the night before. What works for me, and this is what I discovered in the last 2 months, is if I make a script to let it ruminate, like let it get in my system the day before. In the evening, I need to just go over it a little bit before I go to sleep and just let it get in. Like, I don't have to sit there and read it verbatim. If I go over it, I get really intuitively passionate about it, I can go the next day and film it without many notes and stops and all that. And then I do a little bit of what David, and I discovered this about myself, but David kind of pointed it out. I'm going back to what I used to do back in November, like last year, is refine that even more. If I want A-roll, like if I'm going to be in front of the camera, then I'm going to put that on my script. Because I might want to do that part at my desk. So you guys have been following me. I go around my house or go outside now. I might be at my desk for part A of the video, but I might be upstairs in my other office, part 2. And then I might be outside. Then another video, I might be outside for the whole thing. But I may be in one chair. I'm getting to you, P. I may be in one side of the patio. Then I might be in another side because people need that dynamic versatility to keep them on the video. Yep. P.
Yeah, I have to ask, because this is like an issue for me, because I do the same. I go through the script the day before, just to have it, and then I can deliver quite well. However, what about the other script that I have to, if I want to batch record? You know what I mean? How do you go? Do you take a break and then you read the other script, or how does that look like for you? That's my issue.
So once I get done, it just depends. Okay, so I have them all mapped out for the day. And I don't know, Lucy, if you're like that or not, but if I know the 2 that I'm going to do for that day, I already know location. So the location, and this may sound like, oh my God, I'm on location. No, I'm either standing up or sitting down. When I say location, I mean I'm either at this desk like this, or I'm over there like that, and I'm standing or I'm sitting. Just that little shift or change in the background will determine what kind of energy I'm going to bring in front of the camera. I have that already in my mind. If this is going to be a little bit more of a sit down video and I'm talking to the front of the camera because I'm delivering a particular piece of instruction a certain way, or am I going to be standing up because I might want to be like, the scams are real. It's all about effect and dynamic interaction with your audience, right? So you got to kind of think those things through before your batch recording day. also I lay out my clothes, so I have different black t-shirts that I wear and different earrings that I put on, and then I change my hair. And maybe I used to change my makeup a little bit, but because CapCut has the filter, I don't even do that much anymore. But let me tell you the extent of my makeup. I might put on eyeliner. Like one video may not have on eyeliner, the other one may, but I always use the filter for it. But it does make a difference. And I definitely changed my earrings. For me, earrings, eyebrows, and lip gloss, like non-negotiables for me when it comes to being in front of the camera, are eyebrows, some earrings, and I'm going to do something with my hair. And I'm going to have on a black t-shirt. Or, you know, if I want to get fancy, or if I just want to change something up for effect, like even when I go with my little workout gear on, it's for effect. A lot of times you'll see me with the blue one on because that's part of my branding. And I'm doing it because I want a casual feel. I don't want people to feel stuffy on my videos as a content creator learning how to do content.
Yeah.
So for batch recording days are 2 minimums. I've already figured out the 2 topics. My camera placement, I have the things already ready to go because I don't need any impediments. Like there's enough impediments as it is. Attitude matters. Now, let me tell you, shot day does not always go as planned. I leave myself 2 to 3 days to batch record because I don't want to feel bad all week trying to shoot video. I'm a content creator that doesn't like to shoot videos. I like to create videos. I'm an introvert, but my giftings are extroverted. So I don't always feel comfortable. This feels fine to me, talking, interacting, but being on the camera sometimes is very difficult for me. So I have to light the candle, get a Celsius after coffee. Sometimes I'll turn on music. I'll go over the script multiple times, sometimes like go over it, and then I have it on the teleprompter and all the things. And then sometimes, you know, I can do all that and go just straight off the dome on whatever was on the teleprompter that I don't use. And sometimes I'll use the teleprompter as my, what do you call it? Emotional support tool.
Yeah.
And then, so that's my workflow. My workflow is 2. Sometimes I'll do 3. I pushed myself the last time and I did 8 in 2 days. 8 in 2 days.
Wow.
But then on one of them, I did it and I went in my kitchen and I realized like my earring fell off halfway through the video. And I didn't realize it until post-production, and I didn't put up the video because, I'm a little perfectionist. Like I couldn't hide the fact that one of my little Chanel earrings were gone. They were little dangling. I've never worn them. Maybe it's a sign from the universe that says you were doing too much. With those earrings, because I usually
you were trying too hard, wheeling out the Chanel.
I was trying too hard, too much going on, girl.
Too much.
And moving all around the house and all of that. But I did feel great about.
I'm off now. Bye, everybody.
Oh, see, Lucy needs to nip away. We're not far behind.
Oh, yeah. So, so then after I did the video that was outside, I felt very good about that one. It was so comfortable. It was green. It was colors, all that. I felt pretty good. Then I just went back to batch recording the rest of them. And now I'm still editing the last one for the last, for like this week. I think it's today. I'm going to put that one up, maybe tomorrow. And then I have to record one, but I'm owed one for like a brand deal that I'm not sure I'm going to do yet. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. And just Danielle says her balancing personality with scripting can be a challenge. Try going live with talking points. Just a thought.
Yeah.
The balancing personality, it's so true, right? Like when you have
Danielle used to be like on her script, on her thing, and we, she's now not really, well, you can't even tell any of that because she's been going live a lot all the time, which is great. And then she does, the prayers, does pre-recorded and all that, but it broke her out of that error that she was in. And I do. I say, if you have problems with either your workflow consistency or balancing, just start going live a lot. That's the best thing that you can do. And because it forces you not to edit, not to have like super scripty sounding, super scripty, and being inconsistent with your content. Go live every other day. I'm going to go back live. I'm actually going to start doing going back to what I know is like going back to doing lives and doing channel audits right on the screen. It helps me to connect with the community, to stay involved, and to be able to give back more.
Yeah, I mean that channel audit. I mean, those couple of channel audits that you did the day that we interviewed you, Reva, was so much fun. Like, Marie,
Oh yeah,
it was Marie's, and maybe someone else's as well.
the girl who run I was like, is your channel
Yes,
run?
Mel. Yeah, Mel.
Yeah,
runs
Mel,
things.
Mel.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm definitely going back to that at least 2 times per week. I'm going live. Number one, because I paid StreamYard $500.
Well, you do now. That's right. You better get that value for that
Yeah,
month.
but number two, in the beginning, when I did the video this past week about going live, which that was part of the coaching that I give, is I know that don't do a lot of short form videos if you're trying to get monetized or whatever it is, or build community. Go live, because that breaks a lot of the barriers to entry for everything, whether it's building community, getting you to your monetization, getting your products, just connecting, getting you off of the I need a script, hamster wheel, or I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. I tell people a lot of times when they go live, this is how you break, just period. If you're not a camera person, it's just like turn on the camera and act like you're on FaceTime with your children or your best friend or whoever it is. It's just like being on FaceTime. That's all it is. You just can't see the other people. You see them in the chat in words. But other than that, once you get past the pretend you're not even on the screen. You're talking to the people that's in the chat and giving them what they want, or if they're asking you something, or if you have something to teach or share, just get on there, put your presentation up on the screen, and give it like you were teaching yourself, or you're teaching your invisible best friend. And the people that's in the chat, they'll be in the chat. Don't worry about it. People aren't going to come on there. If you do not look at the numbers like, oh my God, I don't have anybody. So what? What's your goal? Your goal is to get comfortable presenting, having fun, talking to yourself. Yeah.
David, do you have some plans to go live? Because as Reva's video said, like if you've got a free StreamYard account, you can just go live, or a paid one, but even on the free. That was an amazing points you made, Reva, about that on your live streaming video.
You should teach us, David. I
don't
see
know what
where.
I don't know what I would say if I went live, to be honest with you. I'm
Listen, so
not
David, get on live, share your screen when you're editing one of your videos, or you're coming up with the idea to make a documentary. Pretend like you're making a or what you did for the documentaries that you already did. Come on the live and teach us one part, and then you teach us the next part, and the next part. Everything that you kind of showed us, the sticky notes. So I'd be keen. That's what they say in New Zealand. I'd be keen to know.
Keen.
How do you do that sticky note process? And I will be in your chat. Trust me.
I think I've told you all there is to tell you about it. You just write on the sticky note.
We are visual storytellers on YouTube. I'm just challenging you, David. I'm stretching you.
Yeah, just giving you a little nudge out of the nest.
No,
thank you, Krista.
As well. I want to start doing lives as well. I have so many ideas. You can't believe it. So many ideas. When I want to start interviewing people and talk about the things I love to talk about. So it's it's relevant to my channel. Yeah, and I already have like a document full of things that I want to talk about, and it's like, I need time management or something, just to
I
get it
know.
up.
No, I hear this. I hear this voice note from Pernilla today, saying, "Okay, now I'm just, I'm just going to speak this out because I'm working on my time management, and it's just quicker, and blah 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 blah, and bye." But when I
You know what
hear
the
this
greatest,
saying time
the
management,
greatest
yeah,
time management tool is saying you're going to go live and you put it on your community post. I'm going live Thursday at 1300 or 1
Yeah,
o'clock
no
for
going back
conversation.
there, right?
That's the greatest time management tool ever, is your word, and then putting it out there in the universe. But Krista says, what are the other panelists' workflow on a typical recording day before you go? On a recording day, that's what
I think I talked
you already
about
did
mine.
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And I think we already covered that. I don't know. Maybe she didn't.
What about yours, David? Yeah, I think we might have touched on that.
I've only done 6 videos, but basically, if I've got some ideas I'm interested in, I put them into ChatGPT, and that helps shape it, and then I'll do it in my own voice. And then what I do is when I'm recording, I did try batch recording. It didn't work particularly well for me. I don't know whether the net is good enough, but what I tend to do is I put my script into into a Google Doc, and I operate my camera with my iPad. So I look down, I read it just to refresh my memory, and I press record. I record a chunk, say a minute, stop it, and I just do it that way, just bit by bit by bit. And if I do a bit that I think I didn't get quite right, I just do that as something so I know it's rubbish, and then I record it again. So that they're all done.
How long does that take when you do the stops?
Sorry?
When you read and you push stop, how long does it take for you to make an 8-minute video or 6-minute video? Because you have so many stop starts.
If I'm doing an 8-minute waffle, probably only takes us 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I make sure the script's more or less right. I read it, and then to make sure I don't miss any important points out, I check it. So I might take, if it's a 30-second bit of word, I read it, and then I say it.
Oh my God, you're good.
I mean, it doesn't have to be verbatim, but as long as if I think I missed something important, I'll stop and I'll do it again. But usually, if I just do it chunk by chunk, I don't make that many mistakes.
Yeah,
Okay, David. Okay, David. I've got something to say. I think that you can make more videos then, because you've made 6 videos so far. Is that right?
Yeah.
And how long has your channel been going for? I'm roasting David on his interview.
David, it seems like you still have memory. You should take advantage of that.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
I guess people's motivations are different. I mean, I was away with friends on a drinking day 3 days last. I was away with friends. I didn't want to be thinking about videos.
That's cool.
I'm going away to the Lake District for a week tomorrow with my partner. I might do some filming there. I might actually make a film about how to make holiday videos by taking my new iPhone and make a holiday video, and then make a video from the video I take. And then my partner will video me videoing it as a kind of.
Do all of that. Yeah.
But I've also been negotiating about getting my food show, and I've been getting blah blah blah. So I mean, YouTube is important to me, but I'm not going to kill myself to do stuff for the sake of it. And it actually takes me quite a long time to edit, because I've got to go and find all the bits of B-roll, the bits of film that I've done, and decide which bits to cut in. It does take quite a while. If I was just doing one of these talky head things where you just had to put that wouldn't take us half as long. But if I'm having to think, where was that little bit I need for that, and where was that little bit I need for that, it does take a while. That's just me making excuses, of course.
How long does it take? To do it a healthy way, right? Like a healthy way, and you want to feel good when you do it and have some fun, right?
Yeah, I think if I'm doing one a week, I mean, I'm behind because there should have been one on Friday. That's because I was away. if I get that one done and then I get the one out for next Friday, then I'll be hitting you one. That'll be all right.
Yes.
He's the opposite.
I know, because because we all have these little conversations, and we do talk about, when we're a fairly new channel, like brand new, like how do we get more eyeballs on? So how long does it take you to edit your videos? Just average, David.
A few hours. It takes us a few hours to edit them.
4 days.
Well, it takes me several hours. I mean, I came back from being away with friends, and I thought, well, I'll edit it, and it took us about three hours. It still wasn't edited, so I spent yesterday, and it's still not quite edited, and I'll finish it off today. Because sometimes there might be a little graphic that you want, which you haven't already got, so you've got to go onto Canva and find the graphic, and then download the graphic, and then import that into your project, and then you do 30 seconds further, or I need a little sound effect. Oh shit! So you've got to go and find the sound effect.
So speaking of which, for that workflow, and Keshna had a question about StreamYard. I think StreamYard is a free trial after a certain amount of days, Keshna. So just go on StreamYard. I do think it's a free trial for a certain amount of days. But when you go on other people's channels or you're invited, then it's no cost to you. You just hop on. It's free. When you do your own.
I thought that you could. Stream on free, because I've seen Jace with guests on, and I've seen the watermark. So I just assumed.
Sorry. Yes, the watermark. Well, that's probably because I don't do anything with
free. No, but
I don't do free watermark. I don't like watermarks because when you are like a brand, that is not a good look. When you have watermarks on your stuff, when you're a business, I guess, if you want to say that. But yeah. So workflow, going back to workflow. I think that's entire, because it depends on your like editing workflow. It depends on your what do you call it, the platform, the app, whatever you're using. It just will depends. Because so for CapCut, I do all the transcript first. I edit via transcript, my raw cut first. So what takes David, like me, used to be like 4 days. I'll do transcript edit first, and it wipes out all the filler words, ums, ahs, ands, and likes. Sometimes you want to keep some of the ands and likes in there, so you have to go back and fix that. So once you wipe it all out, your 45-minute video becomes a 15-minute video on first raw cut. And then what I do is I go back and I fix all the words, like what I sound like, what I'm saying. And then I go back and put all the words on screen if I want words on the screen, or if I want memes or inserts. I put all those visuals next. And then after the visuals, sometimes when I'm doing those visuals, because in my mind, I'm a visual person, and animation may be a visual. So animation mean, like if I'm given 1 point, I want to say 1 point, I'll add that in there. So anything that's visual, I'll add in after I do the verbals, then visuals. And then I do the color grading, which might be my filters. The reason why I do that is because if there's a visual, like the words behind me, they need to come in a certain way. And I learned that if I do my filter first, and then I go back and add some kind of transition or something, then the filter goes away, and then you get the old without me on, no makeup. I'm like, well, how do I fix that? It's because I put on the filter too soon. So I'll wait to the very near the end to do the filters. So the filter the whole thing, so it's the same filter throughout the whole CapCut video, and then I'll go back and add my sound effects last. So that's my workflow with actual video editing. And I usually, it depends on the length of the video, but an 8-minute video, if it's a 25-minute raw cut, will take me, 8 hours to 12 hours over a couple days, because I'm a part-time creator.
Susan from Artfully Becoming is asking, is David trying to be perfect in editing?
Never be perfect in editing.
No, but like you just put like a lot of I guess just like everyone, right? You're trying to put a lot of like just you want your video to look a certain way.
Well, it depends for the YouTube videos. No, the sound's got to be right. I think the sound's essential. If the sound's wrong, people can get away with crap visuals, but not sound. So the sound's got to be right. And I just try to make them quite. I don't, no glaring mistakes. As long as they're functional, as long as they've got the visuals in the right place. I do spend quite a bit of time trying to pick the right clips to illustrate the point, but I don't spend as much time per minute on a YouTube video as I would if I knew it was going to be shown in a cinema, because it's a massive screen and people will pick things up and you'll feel like a chump. So I do spend more on those. But yeah, I mean, somebody's asked in the comments how long are my videos. I think they're about between 8 and 10 minutes, the 6 I've done so far. Maybe it's a little bit longer. 12 minutes, I think one of them is.
Would you ever experiment with like doing like a bit more talking head videos, like, and just very little editing, just trimming and cutting around and things, and just to sort of like put out a little bit more content or something like that, just to experiment with, are they getting the same amount of views? Because I see so many big YouTubers saying that effort doesn't always, translate the views to compensate for our effort.
I know, but that's what it depends on the nature of what you're delivering, doesn't it? If you're trying to give filmmaking tips, you've got to perhaps show some examples. Whereas if you're just delivering pearls of wisdom, it may not be necessary. Because some videos out there which are really successful could equally do well as podcasts. The visuals are almost secondary to what they're saying. Whereas if you're doing something about filmmaking, it's obviously you've got to have some visual element. So it depends very much on what you're doing. And I mean, if you look at the likes of Think Media, a lot of their videos, it's a podcast, really. That's what they're doing, a podcast. And the words are very concise. But, so it's horses for courses, really.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm doing my exercise. I don't do exercise. I do my press-ups and that a few times a week. But I listen to podcasts then, and they can be very valuable. I don't need to watch the YouTube, but if there's a certain thing, say I was watching a YouTube video on color grading, it's no good listening to how they do color grading because you don't know what he's talking about. So in answer to your initial question, yes, I could certainly think about doing some where I'm just talking about maybe it's the philosophy of filmmaking, where it could be less reliant upon the visuals, and but I haven't done any of those yet.
Yeah.
But I could do.
Yeah. Amazing. And so does anyone have any sort of... Yeah, go, Reva.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, darling, were you saying you're going to give some shout outs and say hi to people? Mrs. G, hello.
Yes.
Mr. Skinny TV, hello.
Yeah, he's very faithful. He's got like 100,000 subscribers.
What does Mr. Skinny make videos about?
He is a review channel.
A review?
Yeah, I want to teach people like all the things on YouTube, like because the rules are different, depends on what niche you're in. So I did talk to Mr. Skinny about coming on my channel, doing a live together to teach us how to do reviews. I know this one other creator in the beginning, very polarizing though too, Mr. Edison, I think that was his name, RJ Edison, because doing reviews are very different, how you do them. And I've done reviews on my channel and you have to do them a certain way. And also when you're doing reviews, you're talking about other people. So sometimes that could be negative. It could be positive. It depends. It could be just like newsy. So yeah, I just want to teach people from different niches because there's more than just our niches, how to grow on YouTube niche out there. So you have to know how to do those things. Also, shameless plug for this Friday, my birthday. I'll be live in 55, God willing. I'm going to be going live. We're going to be going live with Alexis Saranoia. And you guys know her from her amazing channel.
Wow.
I asked her and she said, yes. So we're going to pick her brain on how to do YouTube, how to not get discouraged, how to grow a community. That's just some of the stuff that we're going to talk to her about. So you guys come on Friday. It's the afternoon one because she lives in the Netherlands. I think it's the Netherlands, right? So that
Finland.
was the time that, yeah, that was the time that she could agree upon it. I took off work in order to be able to do that humongous live.
Yeah.
So yeah, in my opinion, is huge. And to be honest, I could go live with someone who has 0 subscribers and it will still be a humongous deal for me. So don't think because, you know, yeah, I'm leveling up to, you know, bigger creators. I always try to bring smaller creators into the space. So if you want to be on the screen, just hit me up.
Can
Hit me up and also hit up Karen, who will be co-hosting
can I
with
ask a question, please?
yes.
What happens if you're a small creator like me and others, no doubt, in this group, and you want to have somebody on your channel who's further ahead? Say, obviously, I wouldn't do, but say I wanted to have, I don't know, Steven Spielberg on talking about filmmaking. Obviously, I'm being silly with that one, but somebody who's a more well-known creator, what how would you get them to come on? Because there's nothing in it for them if you haven't got a big following.
So now what I found, because I mean, I heard this from, I'm going to tell you who I heard this from. Well, a couple of people, Jade Beeson and Modern Millie. So Jade Beeson is one of my virtual mentors in the space, and Modern Millie on YouTube growth, right? So Jade told the story on her channel of how she's behind, she's huge. She's 250,000 subscribers. Modern Millie is at like 500 something subscribers. And then the mid tier, when Jade was growing, and she's still growing, she asked Modern Millie, "Hey Adrian, hey, can you go live with me, or can we do a collab event?" That's what it was. Can you come to my event and be a speaker at my event? And Adrian said yes. And Jade, imposter syndrome was like, well, what makes her, you know, I'm just gonna ask. I'm just a smaller creator behind her, and I'm in the same niche. So why would she? But she threw her cards out on the table, and Adrian said yes. And the reason why Adrian said yes is because as long as you're secure where you are and you know your job is to give back, like really, we can't be here and people watching us if it wasn't for the people watching us.
Yeah.
So if you get out of your head like, oh, they're not, I'm just a little peon. Well, first of all, that's imposter syndrome. Second of all, a lot of times people want to give back. They're looking for areas to give back and to give value so that they can grow. So how can they grow if they get to the point where like, oh, I'm here, I made it, I don't have anything to give back to these people down here? A lot of times people don't think that. We think that they think that. We think, oh, who am I? They don't think that. They're looking for people to give back to, because if they're about abundance and growing, they understand in order to get more, they have to make room in their cup, right? If your cup is full, and you're big, you're Steven Spielberg, but you're trying to go to the next level, I'm sure he skimmed off something off the top in order to be able to get more. You have to give more. It's a stream, it's a flow. Let me give so that I have room to receive more. So don't be afraid to ask. Yes, they can say no 50 million times, but what about that one time they actually say yes? But they can't say yes if you don't have the courage to ask. And if they say no, they're not your people. That's not your person. That's not their mandate. That's not their assignment or your assignment. So I just take courage and ask. And if he doesn't say yes, Steven Spielberg, or why not? You know, like, why not ask? What is that off of you that you ask? You're going to be super offended, or is it going to validate your thought already? Oh, well, he's too big. He's like, so you're not going to ask Steven Bartlett because Steven Spielberg said no? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you know what, I think as well, it's, you know, it's trying to sort of like, it's to build that relationship as well, Reva? You know,
Yeah.
Like, like, sure, like if you were to go and cold and ask someone. So two things I'd say. I'd say that in this last couple of years, I've seen so many big creators be interviewed by much smaller channels. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a real thing now where it never used to be. And now you just see, like, people are always telling stories. Oh my gosh, some really big person was on with, like, 2,000 sub person or whatever, like a really, really big YouTuber or big, expert, subject matter expert or whatever. But the other thing is too, is I think that, just show some interest in the person, like if you're watching their videos and you're engaging a little bit, like I think it's like anything, right? Like if you were trying to, get someone to be interested in you doing a documentary about their story or their experience, just think of it like that. Like you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and no isn't fatal.
Right. No is not fatal. I agree
No, it
with
might
that,
be
man.
10 no's. If you've got to get to a yes, you've got to ask 11 times. Just start telling yourself that, like but also like, yeah, just give a reason why you'd be interested and things like that. Because I think that, maybe busier, big YouTubers are probably looking for, because who was it? Barnabas got the
Barnabas
DOAC, right?
asked, yeah,
He's not that he's a
CEO.
small channel. He's not a small channel, but compared to the DOAC peeps, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Understanding where you are in the space to ask. So like for Mrs. Skinny TV, even Learn with Trey and Rob, right? Like, so we didn't wait to ask. We started to go live. All of us started to go live together, right? So we have that muscle memory and we know what it feels like to go live. I would not let my first live be with some big content, not the first one, be with a big content creator. I would need to know how to operate a little bit in that space first of, how to go live. And then just ask the question, right? Like just, so I think for me, we put him on the spot on the live. So
yeah, we did. Reva
and
asked
then
him
for
while he
then
popped in the
Rob,
chat.
yeah, I just asked because I've always wanted to go live. Like Rob, we were in their space now. I was a subscriber of Rob's since last year, the beginning of my journey. Same thing with Alexa. I actually put Alexa in a couple of my videos, more than a couple, probably 3 videos, because I utilized her method to tracking my hours, right? So I've been in these people's spaces and faces for a minute. And so it made me a little bit comfortable enough because I sowed where I want to go. So same thing like with you, just sow where you want to go. Like, don't go empty. Like, don't go, oh, let's do this together, but you haven't sown anything. I don't think that that's fair. Like, because you're asking for something, but you haven't given anything.
And also, like David, like my thought now is someone who's like aligned with your values, because at the beginning you told us all about this important messages about this guy, the pink guy, and all of the things. So like maybe get someone that believes in those things as well. It's also like, even if you're a small creator, when you meet someone whose like heart is where your heart is, it's like you get that connection, right? So I think also, I mean that's how I see it, like the similar values in life in general.
Thank you everybody.
I like Heartily Happy says, have not because you ask not. There's nothing wrong with asking. Mm-hmm.
Nice one. And Susan, David's channel is Sea Spray Films. Just what you can see on his banner, Sea Spray Films. Hiya, Dozy.
Hey, Kaylin crew. Yay. I love that. Our people are always, it's so early in the morning, you guys. I've been up since 4:30.
Holy moly.
Yeah, no, because I think yesterday was a lot. Our training was a lot yesterday. And I feel as if like the work is never done. Like we have so much work to do. as creators. So as I'm thinking about what product that I'm going to create for content creators, that could be different. That's in line with my values, like P says. But what can I bring that's different? You guys, let me just say this. This week was, let me just be real, the realest Reba. When it comes to you guys, yes, congratulations. 32,000, I think it's right now.
Yeah.
And 32,300 faithful. That's the reality of YouTube that I'm still learning. I had no one to bounce that off of. Back last year when I was trying to grow, I had numbers, numbers are numbers, but people are the actual asset. And so this morning I had a lot on my mind that this is an attention economy, a creator's economy, and that we have a responsibility about the content that we're putting out in the universe. We have a serious responsibility because there's so much out there that sways our emotions, me included. And so sometimes, I mean, like this week, I wanted, again, I don't know, it's not burnout. I don't think it's burnout. It's a lot of energy that's out there in the universe that's not good energy. And the algorithm doesn't help. And when you understand that you're living in a great algorithm anyway, like this whole thing is a simulation and an algorithm. So you better be careful what you're allowing. Because it could just sway you, right? So it's good to be grounded. Hey Lala, good morning.
Hey Lala.
It can really get you off keel. And I was off keel for the week, but I had to realize, like, I think because the human, this world simulation algorithm was getting the best of my mental, along with the YouTube algorithm, which I did research. Oh my God, it was crazy. I was disheartened. And then I thought, well, because now I have this information, what is that? I have the information that YouTube sometimes suppresses views. I saw two big, when I say big, I mean million subscribers. I was like, what? So the platform that we're on, everything has a bit of manipulation nowadays. How does that help? Knowing the information, what does that actually mean for us? What will we do? What are we going to do? We're going to keep creating. That's what came to me. That was 2 days ago. I think it was Thursday, because I saw the two videos of the two different, maybe because it was in my algorithm already. I was like, oh my God, these people have evidence of where the views, were suppressing and all that for whatever reason. And because YouTube is a business.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do we do with that? Because are we going to stop making videos? Are we going to stop our purpose? Absolutely not. That's what I walked away from. Is like, well, what message does that leave me for the people? We keep creating. Yeah. Because our purpose is not mandated by numbers and it won't be manipulated if we keep creating. Now, if we quit, that's bad. And so that's the takeaway is like, if we quit, you have failed in your accountability. You're accountable for your quitting. So now that I have the information, you just keep, and then, regardless, the views start going up, whatever. It's all numbers. What about your purpose? What about your purpose? What about that piece of content, the digital product, the message that you were supposed to give, like David gave? If he never filmed the guy, I would have never seen this. That one guy was depressed. The other guy was moved by his dad who had cancer, who passed away, who's now that's his purpose. And David captured his content.
Yeah.
Is it more about that, or is it more about a number on an algorithm metric? It's more about the aforementioned, the previous. Yeah. So don't worry about, and then stop saying, oh, I only have. Well, that one, you mattered in the life of one person that you're going to be held accountable for at the end.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that message that I heard someone this week refer to it like, I think I focus on the inputs more than the outputs, like they're like, just keep making my videos and as opposed to like what my numbers are saying, exactly what you're saying, Reva.
Yeah. I'm laughing. Lala says I'm listening in the bushes. She must be
Oh, what is she
hiking.
doing in the bushes? What is she
She
doing in the
might be
bushes?
hiking out. I
She's
hope.
picking. She's picking things. She's picking things to make her smoothies.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm just guessing. I'm teasing.
I hope
She's
so.
probably on holiday or something, or tramping.
She could be hiking. She's a very active and health conscious person. So yeah, Keshna said I did notice a change in my feed, and I'm like, what has happened here? Yes. So the video, if I found the video again, I'll leave it on my community post. There's 2 videos that I watched, and they spoke on there was a time between after August the 10th, even though I saw mine decline in July-ish. And then when I went to go back and look at last year's metrics for July through now, it's starting to go up again. But I know that that's because of holiday season coming up. So everybody's keep making your content because it's going up because, you know, YouTube is a business. They get paid by AdSense and ads on your videos. So you keep making a video. So by Christmas, people have something that they can buy. But they said after August the 10th or the 14th, between the 2 channels, the huge, like one was 4 million subscribers. Another one was like, I think it was 2 million. I'll find them. I'll put them on my community post. And I looked at mine, I couldn't differentiate the computer. People who watch from your computer is where the disparinger went down, where the numbers went down. So, you know, people are watching from mobile, people are watching from computers, and people are watching from TVs, and then something else I can't remember right now. So they went all into their metric and where the views went down. The one guy who was getting, oh my God, he has so many views every day, all the time on his videos. Anyway, he was like, I noticed I was getting 49,000 views, and then they went down to 29. I was like, wow, 49,000
Poor guy.
views on one video.
Poor guy.
So
Ouch.
yeah, but for him to be cut in half, which mine did that, but for him to even notice was huge. Like his went in half, and it just went that way for a while because I think his video was up a few days ago. So yeah, it happens. But also when you get to different tiers, and I taught about this, when you get to different tiers. Okay, so for example, in our YouTube growth niche, I have noticed, which I'm very happy that other people are growing because I was there. So when you're like 8,000, you might get to a little low, and it's gonna be like, oh, wow. And then I noticed that 20,000 is a little low. And then apparently where I am, it's been like this for some months now, like 6 months. What I have noticed is that other people in my niche, because they're like my little cousins from Nigeria, I watch them and YouTube is pushing them, but they were at like 8,000. Now they're getting into 9,000, 10,000. Every one of their videos are getting about 1,000 views the next day to 48 hours. So I'm happy that they're being pushed. It's the same content that it's not the same, but we're talking about similar things. So in order to make room in your niche, YouTube has to do something, the balancing. They got to bring somebody down to put somebody else up, because there's only a certain amount of money. There's only a certain amount of money in each niche that these advertisers are paying for. So you have to do some balancing in these different niches, because not all the same ads are being shown in every niche. If I'm a beauty influencer, they're going to have Ulta pushing them. But all the beauty influencers, Ulta has to decide, right, and push some people up and push some people down. And the ones they're going to push up, or whatever, okay, you're already at 30,000. Okay, well, I'm going to cap you out right here because your market might be capped right now. I'm going to bring up this other person, push them out because it's a different audience in the same niche, but people haven't seen these ads on the smaller content creators, and we want to tap into that market. Once you understand that business side of YouTube, then you can understand where the views and stuff, how the views work. Now, does that make you feel good? No, it doesn't make you feel good if you're on the other side of it. But if you can get past the emotions, you could be all right. But that's where community comes in, when you can start understanding the power of your own community and where you might need to pivot. Like, I'm giving value this month for the room. I'm in a learning mode in September. I taught one person for the month, well, one-on-ones. I'm teaching in school because I want to focus on community and teaching. And so if my market over here is a bit stagnant, I got to understand where the water's flowing, or where God is taking me, because school is blowing up. That's just a whole other another piece of content that I'm going to start doing. But when you understand the power of community, you understand what's important. That's long story short. I feel like I was on a soapbox for like an hour. Soapbox.
No. I mean, we love it.
We just soak it in. Soak it in.
We're soaking it in. We're soaking it in. We can't hear those messages too much.
Yeah. So where you want to grow. So heartily happy. Yeah.
I think I've got
So
to go
yeah, I
soon.
think it's a good time to work. Are you going to go in the comments? Are we good?
I've got to go soon.
Yeah.
Being lovely.
Karen, so this is Karen's plight. She can stay on live for 25 hours.
And to be honest, I have to go soon too, because I'm working.
Yes, so this is great. Yeah, no, this is.
That's what I mean, Karen. I guess I'm the one that goes, Karen, it's time to go now. The little church finger is going
Thank you,
up.
David.
Excuse us.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, all my beautiful people.
Thank
All
you
right,
for coming.
see you later. See you, Reva.
Bye. Bye.
Much,
Honey Buns in
everyone,
the
for
chat.
watching.
Honey Buns
Thank you, everyone in the
and
chat.
our favorite guys in the
See
chat.
you.
See you later.
See you. Ciao.
Ciao.